Good morning, and welcome to the graduation of the Cherry Hill High School East class of 2022. At this time, will the audience please stand, and will the graduates please remove your caps, as Timothy Ackerman leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then please remain standing for the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Today, we come together to honor the class of 2022. Before we continue with the ceremony, I would like everyone to know that it is the expressed wish of the members of the graduating class to have a dignified ceremony. We ask the members of the audience to please help by remaining seated throughout the ceremony until the entire class has received their diplomas and the ceremony has concluded. Additionally, we would ask that you please place your cell phones on silent or on vibrate mode. At this time, I would like to introduce to the podium Mr. Joshua Gray.
Welcome, everybody. We have finally made it. You know, it felt like just yesterday we were looking down those long halls at East, just thinking about what high school life would be like for the first time. Our fear of our unknown futures is what pushed us to achieve our goals and wear our cap and gowns here today. There are lots of dangers that we faced throughout these years. We had, wars overseas, 40 COVID variants, online school, acne. And even with all of these obstacles standing in our way, we still came out on top and managed to graduate. As we look back at our past years, we started out lost and confused. We were only just beginning our long journeys forward. Over these years, we've experienced many different things. We danced with our first dates at Frosh. We cheered and we partied at our first pep rallies. And most importantly, we created new and unbreakable bonds with our friends that we met in our classes and our clubs. Here at East, we had our first girlfriends, second girlfriends, third girlfriends, and finally realizing that you were the problem. We survived PSATs, SATs, ACTs, APs. Last but not least, we painted our faces and our stomachs red to show our pride for our phenomenal Cougar sports teams. Most of them. Anyway, what can we take away from all this? Famous artist Eminem once said, It's okay to lose people, but never lose yourself. The truth is, we may never know what life will have in store for us for the future. But sometimes, we just have to appreciate the present. Before I close the speech, I want you all to remember, give everyone you may see for the last time today just a little bit of happiness and a little bit of hope for the future. Each and every one of you have the power to leave your legacy and make a positive change in this world. With that being said, class of 2022, it's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. At this time, I would like to introduce to you our platform guests. First, the members of our Board of Education, and then our Central Administration Office staff. Please hold your applause until all members have been introduced. The board members. We have Ben Avadia, President, Miriam Stern, Vice President, Rosie Arroyo, Corinne Elmore Stratton, Jennifer Fleischer, Kimberly Friedel, Joel Mayer, Dr. Benjamin Rood, and a former board member, Ms. Lisa Seidel. Also with us, we have our Student Board of Education representatives, Ms. Ariana Santiago Ramos and Zeev Amzili. From our Central Administration and school staff, we have Ms. Lauren Giordano, the principal of the Alternative High School, Mr. George Guy, the principal of Rosa International Middle School, Dr. Farah Mahan, Assistant Superintendent of Pre-K-12, Curriculum and Instruction, Ms. Caitlin Mallory, the Director of Special Education, Dr. Kwame Morton, Assistant Superintendent, Pre-K-12, Curriculum and Instruction, Ms. Lynn Sugars, Assistant Superintendent for Business and the Board Secretary, Ms. LaKoya Wethington, Assistant Superintendent for Compliance, Equity, and Student Services, Mr. Mark Wisely, Supervisor of Special Education. By your applause, please show our appreciation for the presence at the ceremony for their service and dedication to our students. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Ted Beatty. He is the Vice Principal for the class of 2022. Mr. Beatty.
Good morning. I have to start with something that I think we should get off the table right away. I am that guy that you get all those emails from. It normally reads Theodore, but I go by Ted. I would now like to introduce our representatives of the building and the class. Again, hold your applause until all representatives have been introduced. Senior class advisors, Carly Friedman and Holly Sosinski. Senior class officers, Kyler Petrie, President, Lydia Chen, Vice President, Julia Cohen, Vice President, Mia DeVera, Vice President. Our SGA officer, Devin Levin, President. Our valedictorians, Nydia Busangari, David Chahet, Tomer Goldfinger, James Kwok, Eric Lee, Selena Lin, Yubin Park, Eugen Park, Ariane Pradham, Dove Schwartz, Nicole Vital, Hope Zhu, Darren Zoe, Kevin Zoe. Our ranking scholars, Dennis Aptagon, Anusha Gandhi, Adiba Hassin, Anaya Kedkar, Vinny Lin, Yina Sun. Honored readers, Daniel Arrighetti, Charles Bove, Dylan Butler, Will Chernitz, Grace Fadahunsi, Ethan Farber, Max Gaffin, Lily Lazarius, Jessica Levin, Madison McNiff, Zahn Motion, Scout Polano, Ilana Tongini, Lalitha Vaswanathan, Sapja Zapotitla. Our honored speakers, Timothy Ackerman, Joshua Gray, and Gabrielle Hart. Welcoming back to the stage is Dr. Perry.
I would like to take a special moment to ask our faculty members to stand. These men and women who have chosen to join us today in honoring our graduates, they are the people responsible for preparing our children for this moment. By your applause, please recognize all these people of public service who have chosen to devote themselves to teaching and to the students of Cherry Hill. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Ms. Devin Levin. She is the president of the student government, followed by Kyler Petrie, the senior class president, both of whom will address us.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests. When I sat down several weeks ago to begin writing this speech, I really struggled. I certainly knew all the things I didn't want to say. That was easy. I didn't want to preach about traditional commencement themes like starting this new exciting chapter of our lives, turning over new leaves. No deep quotes from ancient Greek philosophers, and I promised myself I would not talk about COVID. In fact, that's the only mention of the C word you'll hear from me today. But yet, I still struggled with what I wanted to share with you, the class of 2022. So I thought back to what 5-year-old Devin's vision of high school had been. Now, it's important to note that for my 5-year-old self, the reference point for what high school was going to be like was informed by 3 classic and iconic movies. Movies that most would agree are cinematic masterpieces. Of course, I'm referring to High School Musical 1, High School Musical 2, and the often misunderstood and greatly underappreciated High School Musical 3. So, 5-year-old me pictured myself one day confidently strutting through this grand and pristine modern high school, walking through high ceilings, brightly lit hallways, and smiling faces. Of course, there'll be athletes in Letterman jackets singing and dancing. Within a matter of days, I'd be dating my very own Troy Bolton, and we'll soon fall in love, the kind that lasts forever. Spoiler alert, the only thing my high school fantasy got close to being right was the name of the high school. And for my parents and grandparents out in the crowd, the name of the school in the movie is East High. So, sure, one might think that I completely dashed my 5-year-old self's idealistic fantasy version when I walked into the unrenovated building that is Cherry Hill East. But I'm here to tell you that 18-year-old Devin would assure 5-year-old Devin that the reality is going to far exceed any expectation she might have had. Because really, it is the people that make the place. One may see the pothole-filled parking lot, but that's not what I see. I see the countrymen grilling up burgers and hot dogs, getting hyped for a basketball game, and a new tradition that we started. You may walk into DeBart and see the same wooden benches that my mom sat on when she was in high school. I see the starting five versus Cherokee in a filled to the max gym. I see painted stomachs that read "Roll Cougs" and newspapers spilled everywhere. Someone may walk into the auditorium and be surprised to see the same seats after 2 years of construction. I see Jonathan Calday's Mongolian throat singing and Trey Spear running around with a large helmet trying to spell capybara. Walking down the hallway, you may have to maneuver your way through the large and smelly crowd. I see Ryan Landis getting a fade in the back of C-Wing. I cannot forget the football stadium, the wonderful 6-row stadium that fits our entire school. I see Lauren Trost trucking a girl in Powder Puff, and I see Tim Ackerman standing on 2 wooden posts holding a megaphone, standing up for our teachers. You may see the courtyard as just a place to avoid the post-lunch traffic. I see 900 people dancing to Time of Our Lives by Pitbull during our first ever Hokoween dance. That, may I mention, was our largest dance in East history. So yes, the only thing Cherry Hill East has in common with East High is the name. But we wouldn't have it any other way. Because we all proved that sometimes the reality is going to far exceed fantasy. And in our movie, our High School Musical 4, you were the all-star cast. Together, we wrote a magical script. Together, we made music. And together, we made memories that will last a lifetime. I am confident that every single one of you will find your next movie to star in the next best years of your lives. Whoever says that sequels are never as good as the original has certainly not met us, the Cherry Hill East class of 2022. And I know I promised there will be no deep quotes, but in the wise words of Troy Bolton, we're all in this together. Thank you, and roll Cougs.
Good afternoon. Before I begin my speech, I'd just like to start off by thanking my family, especially my parents and my brother. I could not have made it this far without you. So, to my fellow seniors, well, this is it. This is the end of the show, the final act. And what a show it's been. Seriously, it had all the qualities of an Oscar-nominated film. There was action, drama, a little bit of romance, and of course, comedy. And can we talk about that character development? When it began, we were just these nervous, pimple-faced freshmen, not knowing what to expect from high school. Many of us may have had fears of lunchtime wedgies or school bus bullies, no doubt a product of years of watching Johnny Test. Luckily, however, all those fears were quickly put to rest as we were ushered into the welcoming community of Cherry Hill East. Now, I'll admit that intermission from March 2020 to September 2021 lasted a little longer than expected, but what's important is how we kicked things back up this year. We emerged from that intermission as not only seniors, but role models for our underclassmen. We showed unparalleled school spirit with vast seas of red at every game. What's more, we dominated Spirit Week for the second year in a row, proving that we are truly a class to be reckoned with. And as the curtains are drawn to a close in our time here at East, it's the end of our performance. But I'd like you all to think of it as the beginning of a new act in your own story. And this act looks to be the grandest of them all, boasting a cast of both new and returning characters. And there, at the center of it all, is you, the star of the show, the beloved main character. What kind of development will you see during this act? What kind of person will you be by the end? These are all questions that only the future can answer. Whoever you become, I hope you remember your time here at East, both the good and the bad. Now, I say remember the bad times because without them, those good times don't shine nearly as bright on stage. The future still has more good in store for all of us. Now, I'll admit it may be a little rough in the beginning. That audience rating may drop a bit, but it'll be worth it in the end. I'd like to end this speech with a quote from Benjamin Button. For what it's worth, it's never too early or too late to be whoever you want to be. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you live a life that you're proud of. And if you find that you're not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyler and Devin. Great jobs. This year, we have 14 valedictorians. By selection, Kevin Zoe will deliver the valedictory address. Please know that all valedictorians were invited to write an address, and they are all in the commencement book that you received today. Please welcome Kevin.
Good afternoon. If you could redo high school all over again, what would you do differently? Perhaps you're thinking you could have procrastinated less, gotten more involved in activities, or prevented some embarrassing moments. However, we sometimes focus on what went wrong and ignore the invaluable memories that will stick with us forever. In fact, if you did change something, would you still be who you are today? You probably agree that there's only one correct answer to this first question: to change nothing. We, the class of 2022, are dripped up today in cords, tassels, and stoles, tokens of our merit as versatile, high-achieving students. Imagine having a long day of calculus, followed by sports and clubs, all the while balancing time for jobs, playing an instrument, hanging out with friends, and of course, homework. As crazy as it sounds, this is what all 541 of us live through every day. The dedication we put into academics and activities to strive for excellence is astounding. Every year, we drain our sleep-deprived selves, yet we continue to take the hardest courses and tackle several extracurriculars. Look back at all the work you put in up to this point, and how you've all transformed into hardworking leaders. What's there to regret? As a class, we'll cherish the times we spent together. Going down memory lane, we've experienced the class competitions during Spirit Week, the cultural celebrations on Multicultural Day, and all the dances from frosh to senior prom. Consider some school achievements as well, like the swim teams winning multiple state championships, the robotics team competing at nationals, and the symphony orchestra performing at Carnegie Hall. Man, we're really built different. And what about the fun moments in the classroom? Classes have been welcoming environments to learn and laugh together with teachers and classmates every day. Most importantly, we gradually found our distinct friend groups, each one unique and full of hilarious inside jokes. We also optimistically powered through the confusing lockdown during the severe stages of the pandemic, and returning to school last fall felt like we never skipped a beat, displaying to the underclassmen a brighter school spirit and character than ever before in the face of adversity. And so, through all the ups and downs that define our high school experience, what's there to regret? With that being said, let's be proud of the experiences these past 4 years have brought us, and let's look forward to what's to come. Although we can't change the past, we should celebrate our successes, but learn from our mistakes as well to improve in the future. As such, be sure to thank your friends, teachers, parents, and East as a whole for supporting you throughout high school. You never know when there's another chance to express your gratitude, so don't take these moments for granted. Every choice we make defines us, but there's always time to continue writing your life story. As British writer C.S. Lewis once said, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Thank you, Kevin. Hello again. Welcome one and all to this beautiful celebration of our graduating seniors, the class of 2022. I'm so humbled to have the chance to address the village of people that have paved the way to make this day possible. My goal in speaking today is to provide some form of advice to our graduates. Devin, Josh, Kyler, Kevin have all already given great advice. Learn from your mistakes. Be the star of your own movie. Live a life you are proud of. And most importantly, don't lose yourself. I typically find that reminding students to enjoy these moments, let's call them celebrations, is always most important. However, as I was reading the students' speeches yesterday, I was inspired in a new way. As I thought about it, I realized I could offer better advice, something that is more appropriate and has application to every aspect of our lives beyond just the celebrations that occur. My advice to our seniors is striving to find the happiness in your journey. Each stage of your life and role that you serve has a journey that culminates with an endpoint. Today's endpoint is graduation on your journey that was high school. On your journey, you went to classes, sporting events, performances, shows, and various other activities where you had experiences. Some good, some bad, but points along the way nonetheless. All of these individual activities fuse together and comprise your journey of high school. Throughout this journey, you made specific decisions for one reason or another along the way. I ask you to take a moment now and think, did you make any of these decisions for your own happiness? Let me help you with your answer. Happy is an adjective, and it means the feeling of showing pleasure or contentment. I ask you again, class of 2022, if you made these decisions for your own happiness, for the sake of you. You will take many journeys throughout your life, and you need to consider this advice as you approach the real world. 98% of your life experiences will take place surrounding whatever journey you are on, and to accomplish a goal. The choices you make will seek to fulfill many things in your life, such as striving toward a long-term goal, outside expectations from people in your life, and/or directives from a supervisor. These choices can ultimately become mundane and automated. As I'm sure you all remember when you got up on the wee hours of the morning coming to high school, long journeys become mentally taxing and require resilience to forge through when you do not consider your happiness. This is easy, isn't it? Just look at the glass half full and all will be okay, right? As one of many adults in your life that has forged a journey or two, I tell you to consider your happiness because I've watched many on journeys get sunk by the weight of the lack of consideration for themselves. In an age where a person's mental health needs to be a top consideration in our community, I remind you that you must put your oxygen mask on first before you help others. This analogy from flying shows true in our daily lives each day. When a person takes care of themselves, they are better prepared to go off into the world and impart greatness to their communities. You will all do wonderful things and incredible things that will sculpt the landscape of our planet, but as you work towards your celebrations, culminations, and accomplishments, savor the journey. A journey does not have to be one that is trodden through the path less taken, path most taken, or the one that has never before been traversed. It simply needs to be one that makes you happy and helps you appreciate the daily opportunity to seek happiness and share your cheer with the world. Congratulations, class of 2022, and thank you for making each day of the last 4 years one that I can say made me happy, especially Fist Bump Friday. Don't worry, be happy, and thank you for your time. Now that we all can be happy, we're going to recognize our candidates for the Seal of Biliteracy. New Jersey is among a cadre of states that award students the Seal of Biliteracy. The Seal of Biliteracy is intended to be easily recognizable to prospective employers and universities, and signifies those students who have received this honor are students who have demonstrated that they are able to speak, read, listen, and write in 2 or more languages at a high school level proficiency. The class of 2022 Seal of Biliteracy recipients are denoted in this graduation program. Will the students who receive the Seal of Biliteracy please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Next, I have the presentation of memorial scholarships. Memorial scholarships are those given to the same students, teachers, administrators, and Board of Education members who have served Cherry Hill East and the community as well. The memorial scholarships recognize students who have served High School East and have demonstrated variously care for others, service to the school, excellence in academics, sports, or extracurricular activities. I would like to ask Carly Friedman and Holly Sosinski to join me and assist in announcing the memorial scholarships. Please stand if your name is called, and please hold your applause until the end. The Justin Accordi Foundation for Arts and Scholarship is awarded to Emmanuel Holcomb. The John Adler Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Devin Levin. The John Royce Agner Memorial Music Scholarship is awarded to Alvaro Mateo. The Ravi Bloom Scholarship is awarded to Madison McNiff and Darren Zoe. The Student Government Association of Cherry Hill East Memorial Scholarship in memory of Marty Calista is awarded to Daniel Arrighetti. The Joseph A. Capella Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Ethan Farber. The Felice Dunif Voss Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Ziva Davis.
The Flora Malamut Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Marcus Newman.
The Kelly's Kindness Scholarship is awarded to Jack Gaffin.
The Daniel Jack Mellaby Class of 2011 Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Brendan McGovern.
The Charles J. Musumeci Scholarship Award, affectionately known as the Moose Scholarship, is given to Charles Bove and Ava Klinger.
The Leonard A. Terranova Jr. Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Jevin San Pedro.
And the Sally Whitting Art Scholarship is awarded to Grace Armstrong. Thank you. We can give a round of applause for all our scholarship recipients. At this time, would all senior members of the choir please move to your places?
It is estimated that over the course of your high school career, you have learned over 2,453 new vocabulary words. In your English classes, science classes, social studies classes, even in your math classes and electives, you've been introduced to new words and in some way, shape, or form have had to look up their meanings and be able to use these words appropriately. I would think that in most of these cases, there was a specific definition that your teacher wanted you to focus on. There was a right answer. Now, as you sit here about to graduate as a member of the Cherry Hill East class of 2022, you have a new opportunity. You have the opportunity to define yourself. Defining yourself is not easy. There is no right answer. All of your experiences, your families, your friends, your classmates, your teachers have helped shape who you are and contribute to how you may define yourself.
But now, and in the years to come, you can take all of this and make your own definition of yourself. And that definition can and will change. You started your high school career without knowing the terms social distancing, COVID, and remote learning, and you'll finish your high school career as a different person. Think of how far you've come, how much you've learned about yourself, and how much you've changed. As you look ahead to the future, who knows what's in store for you, but you have the opportunity to decide how you want to define yourself. There's one thing that's true for all of you, that's part of your definition, that you're a part of the graduate class of the 2022 from Cherry Hill High School East, and we are so proud of you. Thank you for an interesting, unpredictable, and memorable 4 years, and we're so proud to have been your advisors. Best of luck to each and every one of you. Thank you.
People and things that went before. I
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you again. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to the microphone Ms. Gabrielle Hart.
Hi, everyone. Less than 2 months ago, we watched 8 of our classmates dress up as superheroes in the annual and revered tradition of Mr. East. Watching these young men show a little grace and a lot of comedy, I was inspired by a quote from the original actor who played Superman, Christopher Reeve, who said that a hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. Well, if that's true, then this whole class must really be made up of heroes. As a senior class, we have faced some of the biggest hardships. Entering the halls of Cherry Hill East as freshmen, high school was a massive whirlwind. Being the so-called fresh meat, we were doing our best to find our niches. We joined various clubs, sports, and organizations in hopes to seek out our true East experience. At every step, we had to prove ourselves, that we were more than just annoying freshmen. We had to show that we could play that piece of music, spike that volleyball, or put together a functional robot out of scrap metal. And we did. Like true heroes, we persevered and endured. Up next was sophomore year, when we at last got our footing in school. We finally managed to navigate through the C-Wing intersection with ease. And we realized that there wasn't actually a pool on the 4th floor. Block scheduling made sense, and we stopped showing up to art class ready to learn math. Our superpowers began to take hold. Sadly, however, after a couple months of no longer being the most inferior class in high school, our arch nemesis named COVID decided to lock us in our houses until junior year. It was tough, all right. Like, how in the world do you take a public speaking class from the privacy of your own bedroom? Still, we put on our capes and we persevered and endured. Even when we spent our time wiping down cardboard packages with Clorox and watching Tiger King during class, we still made our junior year an absolute blast. We put on an amazing play, wrote thought-provoking Eastside articles, continued playing sports, and even had our junior prom. Sure, we had to take SATs and ACTs and masks, but on the positive side, we had no finals. So when it seemed like the world was going to end, we still managed to make the most out of what we had. As senior year began, we, like true heroes, masked up and finally re-entered the East hallways. We relearned how to get up early, how to engage in class discussions, and how to engage with each other in person. These were overwhelming obstacles, and we ultimately solidified our strength to persevere. And now, here we are, sitting together at graduation, preparing ourselves for what is to come next. After a wonderful senior trip, countless senior activities, prom, and so much more, we have hit one of the largest milestones in our lives here today. All of your hard work has truly paid off in the greatest ways, so everyone sitting here should be extraordinarily proud of themselves. Some of us may be going to college, the military, trade school, or the workforce. No matter what you do in your life, just remember, you don't need to fly to be a hero. What you have accomplished has already made you one. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabrielle. All I really ever needed to know, I learned in kindergarten. Robert Fulghum, in his text by the same title, reminded us of the timeless lessons from kindergarten whose applications are as relevant in our lives today as they were when we were 5 years old. Don't hit, share everything, say you are sorry when you hurt someone. These lessons, when applied both broadly and acutely, can positively impact our lives and the lives of those around us. As I reflected on Mr. Fulgham's text, I began to become more reflective about the important life lessons garnered in school in the years that followed kindergarten. I postulated that there must be more life lessons that students learned during their time at East, and that our wisdom sharing didn't end when you entered first grade. As I thought deeply about the lessons of a pandemic-interrupted and influenced high school experience, I realized that there have been big and important lessons that you have learned while at East. You have learned to be adaptable, you have learned to be resourceful, and you have learned the importance of social connections. The 4 years that you've been enrolled in high school have been bookended by years of relative normalcy. Your freshman year was as typical a high school year as we have had, while your senior year has been pretty close to a normal year. However, the 2 years sandwiched between them were anything but typical. But you adapted. You learned to adjust to new conditions. You used new terminology like asynchronous and remote to describe the type of learning with which you engaged. You masked when required. You masked when you felt it was appropriate for the situation. You adapted. As you leave East, you will encounter new settings, new contexts, and new conditions. I am confident that you will thrive in these new conditions as a result of learning the lesson of adaptability. During your years of high school, you have learned to be resourceful. The traditions and flow of high school was interrupted for you. You did not always have the predictability of past precedent to inform how something was done or how something was to be done. Yearbooks, older siblings, and club advisors are wonderful resources for how things were, how events occurred, and for how school was done. But there was no roadmap for doing school during a pandemic, so you had to be resourceful. You scoured the internet in search of other ways to do things. You pushed forward new ideas, and you both created and watched a lot of TikTok. When it came to your schoolwork, some of you took being resourceful to a whole new level. You think that I didn't know, but I did. Homework and assessments became like community events. But that is okay. In some circles, there was a criticism leveled at the most resourceful among you. Those who would phone a friend, Google an answer, or collaborate on an individual assignment. Please know that most educators, however, do not share in this criticism. Being resourceful, reaching out, and looking up information is much more authentic to problem solving out in the real world. Schools should not be blocking students from using resources to demonstrate their learning. Instead, we should be embracing them. Our graduates today, you, have benefited from a shift from memorization and recitation to application and synthesis. And this shift has been aided by you learning the lesson of resourcefulness. Your high school years, split between hybrid, remote, and in-person, has taught us all the lesson that we are social beings. We seek others. We need to be in contact, in close proximity to other human beings. We are wired this way. This lesson has been abundantly clear and is easily recognizable by a quick survey of any school event from this year or the speeches that we've heard previously. We have had the biggest turnouts to every event in memory. The class of 2022 has shown up, and you have demonstrated that you have learned the lesson of the importance of social interactions. And so, as the very proud principal of High School East, I feel fulfilled. I feel as though we have built on the learnings from kindergarten and have provided you with important lessons on adaptability, resourcefulness, and the importance of social interactions. Collectively, we have met our charge, and you are now ready to branch off in the world after East. However, I would like to take one more opportunity, since I have you here today, to share with you lessons that I hope that you will quickly learn as you take your next steps. Firstly, I feel the need to recognize the importance of sleep. Most of you will not have a reason to wake up next year before 6 a.m. to get to a 7:30 a.m. class. This change provides you with an opportunity to get a proper amount of sleep each night. Staying up into the wee hours of the morning to cram for an exam is actually counterproductive. Our brains need sleep to process information. The less that we sleep, the less we will process. Secondly, the lesson of the permanence of social media must be learned quickly. Permanence of social media. Nothing that you put on the internet will ever go away, ever. What seems funny or what garners attention now may also garner attention later, just not the kind of attention you were looking for. You all work so hard to reach your goals and your dreams, and my wish for you, my lasting lesson for you today is please do not get sidetracked by sending an angry tweet or by putting up a party post. The last lesson I hope you'll soon learn is this, and that is how smart your parents actually are. Mark Twain once said, right? Yeah, your parents know this. Your parents know this. Mark Twain once said, when I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant that I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Class of 2022, your adolescent years are behind you. You are now adults in the eyes of the world. With age comes responsibility and wisdom. Continue to seek the advice of your parents and the influential adults from your youth. They love you. They want the best for you, and you can benefit from their lived experiences. Finally, I hope that you will know that you're always welcomed at East. You are Cougars for life. East will always be your school, always. And your classmates will always be your East family. Like you, I will look back fondly on your time at East and in all of the Cherry Hill schools that you attended. I hope that you move forward without regrets, but with the understanding that every interaction, every occurrence is a learning opportunity. My hope is that you enter each phase of your life with more wisdom than the previous phase. I have every confidence that you're leaving High School East well prepared for whatever may come your way. Thank you, congratulations, and thank you for allowing me to be your principal. Thank you. Dr. Malash could not be with us today, so Dr. Morton will be presenting to the class in his place. Dr. Morton.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perry. My name is Dr. Kwame Morton. I'm one of the district's assistant superintendents, and it is an absolute pleasure to be here with you on this most joyous afternoon. As Dr. Perry mentioned, about 15 hours ago, our district superintendent, Dr. Joseph Malash, came down with a bug that has prevented him from being here this afternoon. And for those that know him, you know that the high school commencement exercise is one of his favorite events. He absolutely loves it. So he's definitely regretful that he couldn't be here. However, he did share remarks for me to share with you today. Mr. Avadia and members of the Board of Education, Dr. Perry and members of the Cherry Hill High School East administration, faculty and staff, parents, family members, and friends, and finally to the Cherry Hill High School East graduating class of 2022. As the superintendent of schools for the Cherry Hill Public School District, I'm blessed to address the class on behalf of the district staff and the Cherry Hill community. I love graduation ceremonies, the school colors, the academic regalia, the traditions, the speeches, the feeling of pride and enthusiasm that fills the building. While the ceremony itself is largely symbolic and celebratory in nature, signifying the end of the K-12 experience, the representative celebration is a testament to each one of you in red and white who've earned a diploma. Each of you has a personal story of challenges and triumphs, highs and lows, and a host of supporters in the background who've allowed you to be here this afternoon. As individuals, your stories are remarkable, and as a class, the tale that will be told of the class of 2022 is one that will ultimately reach legendary status. Your four-year high school experience is truly one that has never occurred in the same way before. Graduates, be sure to take in the atmosphere here today, to look into the audience, to see the faces of your family members, your friends, and your neighbors, everyone who has come together this afternoon to honor you. As a class, as an educational community, we owe them our thanks, our gratitude, and our admiration. Take a moment and say thank you. Say thank you to your family. Live your lives with gratitude and appreciation, with humility and conviction, and be kind. Choose your own path. Be an active participant in this amazing life's journey. Your families, your teachers, and your school have provided you with a world-class foundation. Be confident in your skills and demonstrate your work ethic everywhere you travel. Use your voice. Your voices. Your perspective matters. Your voice matters. You matter. And I've so enjoyed listening to you as you've expressed your passions to me. Sharing your voice does not always mean that you will attain the outcome you desire. However, your willingness to push forward for what you believe is right is a lifelong skill that I hope that you will always embody. As you push forward, embrace and learn from your successes and from your failures. Do not allow circumstances beyond your control to define you. Rather, choose to create new opportunities and move ahead. Our community, our country needs to hear your voices and to see your commitment and to feel your influence and to benefit from your empathy and from your kindness. In your lives, know that you represent us. Know that you represent your families. Know that you represent High School East, and know that you'll always represent Cherry Hill. Represent us with pride and with honor and with dignity. Represent us well as you move on to college or to the military or to the workforce. Always choose to be kind. Be gracious and strong, and remember to say thank you. Make a positive impression. Make choices that will influence those around you in a positive manner. Let kindness be at your core, at your foundation. Let it be your strength and your connection to home. Each of you has continued to show the adults in our community that we are blessed with the greatest responsibility and the most incredible opportunity that anyone could have. To watch you as you have grown and begun to choose your own path. Thank you and congratulations, Dr. Joseph Malash. Mr. Abadia, would you please join me at the podium? As Assistant Superintendent of Cherry Hill Public Schools, I present the Cherry Hill High School East class of 2022, and I assure you that they've fulfilled all the requirements necessary to certify them for graduation. Mr. Abadia.
On behalf of the Cherry Hill Board of Education, I accept the Cherry Hill High School East class of 2022 and authorize its commencement. Congratulations, class of 2022. You are magnificent here, together in red and white. It is a delight for our board to be here with you and for your families to celebrate today, and it's my honor to address you. As a foundational Chinese proverb instructs, if you are planning for a year, sow rice. If you are planning for a decade, plant trees. And if you are planning for a lifetime, educate people. In Cherry Hill, we are planning for a lifetime, and that plan has included you, and it still does. The occasion of your high school graduation is a major milestone in your life, and today is important. Today, you are high school graduates. You have experienced successes and challenges, and you have persevered. You have a unique journey that has gotten you to today, and you made it to this finish line. Graduation marks both an ending and a beginning. This special ceremony allows us to stop and to acknowledge that accomplishment and that transition. Take a minute. You've worked hard to graduate, and don't miss today. Enjoy the moments, the camaraderie with your classmates, the joint experience of formal culmination mixed with excited anticipation. As a combined sea of red and white, you are all together in this moment, brilliant and stunning. Take it in, enjoy it, take all the selfies you can. You will want to remember this day, and you will look back on it for the years and decades to come. You did not get here alone. Whether you leaned on friends, family members, bonus family members, specific educators, mentors, or advocates in your life, or all of the above, graduation is in part a team sport. Many of the people on your team may be here today, people who have influenced, challenged, and supported you. They have laughed with you and have been a shoulder to cry on. They are so very proud of you. I'll tell you that they have told many more people than you have about today, and you are the center of their hero journey. Take a moment to find and reach out to your team and share with them on this special day. Break bread, send the text, make the call, take a moment of remembrance. Sharing today is important. On the Board of Education, we set out 3 strategic vision goals. One is particularly apropos today, that our students, you, connect to the world beyond your classrooms and become informed and empathetic agents of change in the world. As of today, the classrooms of Cherry Hill are behind you. Ahead is the world, and you get to be a lifelong learner. Whether your next step is a workplace, a college, the armed forces, an apprenticeship, another path, or whether today you just don't know, we know that each of you will do great things. We have put our confidence in you, and you make us very proud and hopeful for a better tomorrow than was yesterday. I'm honored to be part of the team celebrating with you today. On behalf of the Cherry Hill Board of Education, once again, congratulations. And I leave you with the final 4 lines of my favorite Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, before we distribute diplomas. To the Cherry Hill High School East class of 2022, you are off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. I would like the members of the Board of Education to join me in distributing the diplomas to the members of the class. Dr. Perry, please assist us by having the names of the members of the class of 2022 read.
Valedictorians: Nidhi Basinagari, David Chahet, Tomer Goldfinger, James Kwok, Eric Lee, Yubin Park, Eugene Park, Aryan Pradhan, Dove Schwartz, Nicole Vital, Hope Zhu, Darren Zoe, Kevin Zoe. Honored speakers and officials of the class: Timothy Ackerman, Zeev Amsali, Lydia Chen, Julia Cohen, Mia DeVera, Joshua Gray, Gabrielle Hart, Devin Levin, Kyler Petrie, Ariana Santiago Ramos.
ranking scholars, Dennis Alpdoen, Anushka Gandhi, Adiba Haseen, Ananya Kedker, Vinny Lin, Yenna Sun. Honored readers of the class, William Chernetz, Daniel Araghetti, Charles Bove, Dylan Butler, Grace Fadahunsi, Ethan Farber, Max Gaffin, Lily Lazarus, Jessica Levin, Madison McNiff, Zan Mosen, Scout Polano, Eliana Tangini, Lalitha Viswanathan, Sapja Belin Zapotitla.
Sarah J. Adams, Ashton An, Joba Akay, Imad Alawi, Abby Alexander, Billy Alexander, Kais Dawood Ali, Jaffer Alakan, Kyle Allen, Emily Altman, Luke Ambrosino, Ivan Amistoso, Yahel Amsili, Ethan Anderer Martindale, Gianna Anderson, Diego Andino, Sophie Angulo, Luke Anthony, June Gabriel Arado, Liz Armstrong, Javon Ashley, Luis Asif, Pierce Atkins, Nancy Atkinson, Alexa Atlas, Jake Atlas, Jenna Babroff, Nati Bahar, Jacob Baumer, Alexander Barkhammer, Brian Barry, Mohammed Barry.
Michelle Barry, Andre Bathin, Elif Batir, Christina Butsokt, Lindsay Batzer, Simon Becerra, Max Becker, Nathan Belitsky, Mackenzie Belsky, Francesco Benedetto, Raina Besser, Lana Biederman, Ethan Bierig, Ruben Billion, Carly Bird, Zachary Blumberg, Gabby Bob, Julia Benning, Jamie Bookbinder, Chloe Bordner, Kevin Borelli, Sean Boyle, Juliana Bronstein, Griffin Brown, Marshall Brown, Stephen Brown, Angela Bruno, Naomi Bergstein, Jacqueline Bermude, Helen Cabrera, Jonathan Caldies.
Anna Camissa, Spencer Campbell, Jackie Cangiano, Aaron Canturk, Antonio Carrero, Ryan Cepeda, Nicholas Cepero, Ayushi Chakraverti, Shi Yun Chan, Enoch Chan, Janae Gabrielle Chaput, Emily Chow, Arden Chayaprux. Bernard Chen. Avery Chayaprux. Jaron Chen. Jacob Chang. Christina Sherfain. Carly Chick. Kelly Chin. Declan Chodak. Connor Krupkala. Morgan Clements. Bridget Clements. Alana Cohen. Gabe Cohen. Haley Connors. Ariel Cosenza. Timothy Costello. Alexis Q. Eller. Austin Q. Eller. And Brian Curran.
Jackson Davis. Ziva Davis. Spencer Diabro. Georgia DeMarco. Rafael Demora. Laurel Decker. Alexandra Del Tor. Isabella Delgado. Jessa Del Percio. Andrew Devlin. Chloe Diamond. Ethan Diaz. JC Dickstein. Karina DeLula. Monica DeMaro. Kevin Din. Peter DePaulo. Christine Doe. Twin Doan. Aiden Dole. Aiden Donahue. Troy Dong. Edie Dubin In. Alexandre Dreyer. Carly Drum. Nicholas Delacca. Kevin Duong. Eliza Durrani. Jennifer Etok. Julia Edelman. Grace Errett. Eddie Eisner.
Isabella Elias. Michael Epstein. Daniel Escamilla. Elijah Escobar. Alan Elon. Laura Ayer. Joseph Farley. Alicia Fuzzle. Kiara Biederline. Alyssa Fine McNulty. Adam Feinstein. Ryan Ferguson. Antonio Ferrara. Nasheen Fisher. Robert Fleischer. Damian Fraser. Samuel Friedman. Benjamin Fu. Brillian Fu. Adam Fusco. Ite Gabe. Jack Gaffin. Avery Garcia. Rachel Gates. Olivia Goronsky. Samuel Gellert. Emily Gelman. Julian Gersh. Mariel Gideon. Madison Glauser. Monique Godofsky.
Brian Goke. John Gold. Jacob Goldfarb. Anson Gu. Elisa Goodman. Tharinika Govindasamy. Remy Graff. Olivia Greco. Jacob Green. Khalees Green. Emma Greenberg. Drew Green. Hannah Greenspun. Alexander Groff. Juliana Guida. Arlen Haas. Dylan Hagan. Emmanuel Halcomb. Dewan Hom. Sarah Harding. Dylan Hausler. Robert Hawkinson. Alec Hayden. Mark Hendry. V. Ho. Stephen Huang. Jalen Holmes. Gianna Holness. Elizabeth Hansinger. Ainsley Hoisted. Lauren Elizabeth Hughes. Ava Ingersoll.
Jason Jasko. Rifa Jamal. Danielle Janicki. Samuel Jang. Joshua Janov. Levi Jaroslaw. Faith Jastro. Connor Jeffrey. Isabel John. Kelsey Johnson. Simon Johnson. Samantha Janitis. Sky Jones. Kenneth Kahn. Mason Kahn, Jordan Kaminsky, Mitchell Kaminsky, Bryson Kahn, Noah Konevsky, Eric Kang, Busha Karakurt, Eva Kasakurt, Samir Katakomseti, Alec Katsikis, Gwen Kelly, Rin Kelly, Gabrielle Kennedy, Tyler Kernis, Danielle Kerr, Adnan Khalili, Wanapat Konsu.
Savannah Kidd, Emmeline Kim, Erin Kim, Lloyd Kim, Franklin Kish, Zachary Kleinman, Ava Klinger, Sarah Coe, Vasilia Kokolis, Alexis Kovach, Haley Krasen, Isaac Kreisman, Noah Kreisman, Mitchell Krupnick, Alexander LaBelle, Aria Lade, Zamadelis Lagual, Grace Laird, Ethan Lamb, Aiden Landis, Ryan Landis, Blair LaRosa, Joanna Lee, Kin Lee, Hannah Lee, Janice Lee, Hannah Leibowitz, Michelle Lerman, Devin Leung, Isabella Levin, Alex Levine, Romy Levy.
Dominique Leoto, Sander Lehman, Amy Lynn, Ashley Lynn, Scout Lincoln, Anson Liu, Justin Liu, Jaden Livingston, Matt Lombardi, Lexi Lopez, Andrew Luck, Mindy Lee, Mac McCarthy, Jillian McHenry, Rowan Mata, Caitlin Mayer, Alexa Mailman, Matthew Malik, Eric Mancheno, Isabella Messino, Rania Masood, Elazar Matthew Spratley, Tyler Mayo, Daniela Mayo, Mark McClintock, John McCullum, Autumn McConnell, Colleen McElroy, Brendan McGovern, Andrew McHugh.
Zandria Marie McKinley, Lincoln Medina, Stephanie Medina, Anj Mehta, Angela Murch, Amanda Merovitz, Allie Myers, Amiza Mayon, Vincent Mayel, Jordan Miller, Maximilian Missler, Norlandi Mital, Zoya Mosen, Alexandra Montgomery, Anaya Moore, Sean Morrow, Trevor Morrow, Aiden Mullins, Anthony Murator, Joel Murray, Jacob Muchler, Revathy Nair, Matthew Nixudo, Brandon Naylor, Eric Nestory, Marcus Newman, Mindy Nguyen, Jacob Nickel, Julia Nisenson, Paige Noble, Eliza Nunez, Jennifer Nunez.
Gavin O'Connor, Aiden O'Donnell, Gabe Oppen, Hannah Orengo, Veronica Oreshko, Isabella Ortiz, Aiden Page, Mihaly Pantelos, Dylan Page, Dhruv Pawar, Khalid Page, Kayla Park, Lily Parker, Kelvin Paris, Hir Patel, Noah Bakarski, Alexandra Rose Perry, Caroline Perry, Liam Perry, Nicholas Pizzella, Brianna Pham, Mary Phillips, Emma Phipps, Grace Pierlot, Cooper Pennington Pike, Dylan Perillis, Hannah Pollock, Olivia Pollock, Gavin Polshock, Isha Prajapati, Katie Quarry, Ben Radin.
Sophie Raducanu, Victoria Radzinska, Julissa Ramirez Ramos, Marissa Rappaport, Noah Raskus, Sarah Rathor, Gabrielle Marie Roberto, Giovanna Rebstock, Olivia Reganata, Chloe Reed, Connor Riley, Evan Rentizelis, Kira Riley, Jacob Resnick, Madeline Reynolds, Emily Ringgold, Mia Ripa, Amanda Rittenhouse, Colby Rogers, Emma Ranger, Amanda Rosen, Natalie Rosen, Rachel Rosen, Joe Roselli,
Angela Rossetti,
Anish Roy, Sarah Rosengarten, Theo Ruttero, Talal Saad, Theodore Sachs, Juliana Seidel, Anaya Salmons. Thank you.
Jevin San Pedro, Carolina Sanchez, Leah Sanchez, Stephanie Sanchez Vicente, Dion Sanders, Kieran Santos, Joe Sasso, Nicholas Schaefer, Owen Schell, Zachary Schreiber, Brett Schuster, Yohim Schwartz, Faison Sharif, Riva Sharma, Hunter Sharp, Yuz Shaughnessy,
Nicholas Cannon Short,
Nava Silver, Selena Silver, Rachel Singer, Jake Aaron Sapira, Samantha Singer, Mariana Sayuda, Nia Slayton, Evelina Slattery, Asta Soni, Owen Spies, Trey Spear, Zachary Stein, Ethan Stern-Tobman,
Logan Still, Alana Stoffman, Aiden Straley, Elena Suarez, Jay Suchek, Hyunmok Stefanosul, Jordan Sumter, Justin Zito, Wahi Tassin, Adahan Tanyildiz, Sarah Tang, Caitlin Thompson, Esther Tien, Sophia Tintaman, Ryan Tishy, Angelia Torrio, Vin Tran, Alvaro Trinidad Mateo, Lauren Trost, Sophia Trurin, Hannah Udell, Caleb Unterlach, Megan Veravice, Anna Vasiliadis, Marco Veneziano, Abigail Vickers, Nyasia Visco, Brianna Viscount, Elvin Sangvo, Lena Vo, Janelle Volker, Emily Volin,
Cindy Vong, Kyer Wakefield, Richard Walker, Christopher Wallace, Kylie Walsh, Jessica Wang, Logan Wang, Tamir Washington, Tyler Wigren, Josh Weiss, Shira Weiss, Sarah Workmeister, Megan Wheeler, Emily Ann Whitson, Paris Claire Weisner, Catherine Michelle Williams, Belle Wilson, Bryn Wilson, Angelina Marie Whitting, Nathan Wolf, Julia Wolfson, Eva Woods, Bert Wright, Christian Wright, Sarah Wu, Jordan White, Amanda Yan, Eric Yang, Rain Yang, William Young, Alexander Young,
Gary Yu, Sharon Yu, Calvin Yuan, Anthony Yuhas, Nancy Yoon, Shai Zaiden, Nicole Zellen, Marissa Zuli, Vivian Zhao, Ben Zong, Helen Liang, Alex Zimba, and Ali Schmuck.
So at this time, I would like to introduce to you our closing speaker, Vinnie Lin.
Before I begin, at this time, with the class of 2022, please join me in turning your tassels. Good afternoon to all the graduates, friends, families, and faculty here today. I know I'm the only thing standing between you and those exit doors, so I'll try to keep this relatively short. Well, we did it. Today is the day where we finish writing the last page of this chapter and begin a new chapter in the story of our lives. Our 4 years at Cherry Hill East, with tears in our bedrooms, are in the past, and now we look towards the future. We look to begin a new chapter where we take our passions to all parts of the world. It is often said that life is measured by the risks you take. Whether you're a musician, an artist, an athlete, student, you always take risks. So, as we leave here today, I urge you all to be ambitious, to set goals, and to keep pushing forward. The return is always much greater than the risk, so wherever life takes you, may you always take risks to become the person you want to be and work for what you want. After getting to know so many of you these past 4 years, I know you are all bright, strong-minded people who will push boundaries, break ceilings, and challenge the status quo. In this audience, I see tomorrow's educators, tomorrow's politicians, tomorrow's athletes, tomorrow's military, tomorrow's physicians, and tomorrow's entrepreneurs. Realize that you are tomorrow. Work diligently and with purpose. Take the big risk. I'm confident the future looks bright because all of you are shaping it. But as you work towards your future, don't forget to look back on your past. We have all grown here together as one family at East, through the classes, the sports teams, the culture clubs, the musicals, and so much more. Hold on to the lessons that we have learned here, lessons beyond conjugations and derivatives. I hope we can all remember and reminisce on the good times Cherry Hill High School East has given us. And lastly, thank you all for the memories that I will cherish forever. I wish you all the very best and hope that our paths will cross again in the future. Once a Cougar, always a Cougar. Congratulations to the class of 2022, and without further ado, for one last time, roll